Imagine walking into a grand clockmaker's workshop in the 17th century. Gears turning in perfect harmony, pendulums swinging with measured precision, every component calibrated to maintain flawless order. Now, replace the clock with a government, the gears with institutions, and the pendulum with the rule of law. This was the vision that emerged from the scientific revolution and the Enlightenment. A vision that saw governance not as an organic, unpredictable force, but as a mechanism that, if properly designed, could function with the reliability of a well-crafted timepiece. The modern nation-state was not shaped solely by the metaphor of the human body. Alongside the Renaissance celebration of organic form, another vision emerged, one of gears, levers, and mechanical precision. The scientific revolution and the Enlightenment did more than transform humanity's understanding of the natural world. They fundamentally altered how people conceived of governance, society, and political authority. As Copernicus displaced the Earth from the center of the cosmos, and Galileo revealed a universe governed by mathematical regularity, the idea that human institutions could and should be subjected to similar principles gained momentum. The state, like Newton's celestial bodies, was no longer a mystical entity held together by divine will, but a mechanism, a system of forces that could be studied, refined, and optimized. The machine, more than any other metaphor, became the defining model of modern political thought. Medieval and early Renaissance societies had envisioned political authority in organic terms, with kings as divinely ordained rulers, society as a living body, and governance as an expression of a natural or sacred order. But the scientific revolution introduced a radically different intellectual framework, one that privileged systemization, predictability, and control. With thinkers like René Descartes arguing that human body itself was a kind of an automaton. It was only a matter of time before similar ideas were applied to the body politic. Political thinkers, inspired by this new paradigm, began to conceptualize governance not as an art, but as a science, a carefully engineered structure designed to produce stability and efficiency. The transition from organic to mechanistic thinking was not a simple metaphorical shift, but a profound epistemological transformation. The 17th century saw the ascendancy of mechanical philosophy, a worldview that sought to explain all natural phenomena through the principles of motion, matter, and mathematical precision. Francis Bacon championed the idea that nature could be mastered through empirical observation and experimentation, while Galileo and Newton demonstrated that the universe operated according to predictable, discoverable laws. This mechanistic outlook extended beyond physics and astronomy into political theory, where it began reshaping conceptions of sovereignty and governance. Perhaps no thinker exemplifies this transformation more than Thomas Hobbes. In Leviathan, Hobbes explicitly describes the state as an artificial construct, a great machine assembled by human reason to impose order upon the chaos of nature. He envisions government as a vast automaton with sovereignty as its central motor, laws as its interlocking gears, and subjects as its constituent parts. The ruler in this model is not a divinely anointed sovereign, but a technician responsible for maintaining the equilibrium of the system. This mechanistic vision of the state as a self-sustaining, law-driven entity laid the foundation for modern political institutions, where legitimacy would come not from divine right, but from structural coherence and operational efficiency. While Hobbes established the conceptual framework of the state as machine, later thinkers refined and expanded this vision. Montesquieu's The Spirit of the Laws introduced the idea of political balance and separation of powers, treating government as a finely tuned mechanism whose stability depended on the precise calibration of its components. Just as an engineer designs a clock to function autonomously, Montesquieu argued that political institutions should be structured in such a way that they regulate themselves without constant intervention. This logic would be further advanced by Enlightenment-era bureaucrats and reformers who sought to apply the principles of rational design to administration. The rise of the modern bureaucratic state in the 18th century was deeply influenced by mechanistic thinking. From Prussia's military administrative apparatus to the French revolutionary government's obsession with standardization, states increasingly sought to function like machines, precise, efficient, and self-sustaining. The codification of laws, the introduction of centralized record-keeping, and the rise of statistical governance all reflected the desire to create a state that operated with the mechanical efficiency of an engineered system. The influence of mechanical philosophy extended beyond political theory and into art and literature, where it inspired new ways of imagining both society and the individual. In the works of Enlightenment era painters and writers, the fascination with precision and order can be seen in the portrayal of governance and authority. Jacques-Louis David's neoclassical paintings, such as The Death of Socrates, reflect an obsession with rational structure and clear, almost mathematical composition, mirroring the political ideals of a society built on reasoned design. Similarly, the literature of the period, such as Voltaire's Candide, critiques the rigidity of systems that claim to be perfectly ordered, yet often fail to accommodate the messiness of human existence. Even the theatrical works of Molière reflect the mechanical worldview, with tightly constructed plots and characters whose fates are dictated by intricate social systems. This mechanistic approach to storytelling reinforced the idea that society, like a clockwork device, could be broken down into moving parts, each functioning according to rational laws. The impact of mechanistic thinking was not limited to governance, but extended to the rationalization of daily life. The Enlightenment obsession with precision led to the standardization of time, measurement, and even social behavior. The metric system, introduced during the French Revolution, was an explicit attempt to impose rationality on nature. While the development of modern policing and surveillance reflected the desire to regulate and control society as one would a machine. The Enlightenment belief in universal laws encouraged the creation of policies designed to mold individuals into rational, predictable citizens, reinforcing the state's role as an architect of social order. Yet, are we still bound to this mechanistic vision? In an age where artificial intelligence redefines intelligence itself, is the metaphor of the machine outdated? The nation state, once modeled after clockwork precision, now faces an era where machines are no longer rigid, predictable structures, but evolving, learning entities. Can we still conceive of governance as a mechanical system when the world itself is shifting towards organic, adaptive, and algorithmic forms of intelligence? Or are we witnessing the slow unraveling of the machine state, a relic of Enlightenment rationality in a world that increasingly defies it? Most importantly, what does our obsession with mechanizing governance say about our view of humanity and its complexities? Are we, in our pursuit of order and efficiency, reducing the rich, unpredictable nature of human existence to mere gears in a well-oiled system? In our fascination with machines, have we forgotten the messiness, the nuance, and the fluidity that make society truly dynamic? Is it possible that by framing the state as a machine, we have lost sight of the human element, the creativity, emotion, and spontaneity that machines can never replicate? And as we embrace algorithms and automated systems, are we not at risk of creating societies that prioritize efficiency over empathy, precision over progress? Could our relentless drive to construct a mechanical state be a form of self-imposed confinement, ignoring the fact that the world, like human nature, cannot and should not be fully reduced to mechanical precision? In the next episode, we will explore the romantic roots of nationalism, diving into how the emotional and cultural dimensions of identity began to shape the concept of the nation-state. We'll see how romantic thinkers emphasize the organic, almost spiritual connection between people and the land, steering us away from the mechanistic view of the state we have discussed in this episode. We'll explore how the idea of the nation-state transformed from a mere structure of power to something deeply rooted in the emotions, dreams, and shared histories of its people. It's a shift from the cold mechanisms to a living, breathing identity that binds people together.